All right, let's get into it. If you've recently stopped taking hormonal birth control, it can feel like your body is suddenly speaking a whole new language you don't understand. So today, we're going to act as your translator. We'll explore what's really happening inside your body after the pill, and most importantly, how you can use nutrition to help it find its way back to balance. So let's start with a feeling that might be super familiar to some of you. You've come off hormonal contraception, maybe you've been on it for years, and now things just feel off, a little different. You're not totally sure what's supposed to be normal anymore. And yeah, it can be pretty unsettling. If you're looking at this list and just nodding your head, like, yep, skin's freaking out, period is MIA, feeling more anxious, tired, all of it, I just want you to hear this. You are so not alone. These experiences are incredibly common, but that doesn't make them any less confusing when it's happening to you. Okay, so this reads right into a term you've probably bumped into online, post-pill syndrome. Let's really break down what people are talking about when they use this phrase. So here's the most important thing to know right off the bat. Post-pill syndrome is not an official medical diagnosis your doctor is going to write on a chart. Think of it more like a nickname, a really useful term that people came up with to describe this whole shared experience, this cluster of symptoms that some women go through while their bodies adjust. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea floating around the internet. This quote right here is from the dietitian in our source material, Melanie McRice. She went through it herself. She talks about tender breasts, headaches, just feeling completely out of sync. It's just a really powerful reminder of how real and honestly how disruptive this whole transition can feel. Okay, so that leads us to the big question. Why? Why does this even happen? What is going on behind the scenes that's causing all these symptoms? Let's pull back the curtain and look at your body's big reboot. So think of it this way. Hormonal birth control works because it gives your body a steady drip of synthetic hormones. And those hormones basically take over. They call all the shots and they prevent ovulation. So what does your body do? Well, its own little hormone factory basically puts up a gone fishing sign and takes a long break. It just pauses. And this lays out the process perfectly. As long as you're on the pill, those synthetic hormones are running the entire operation. But the second you stop, it's like an alarm goes off in that factory. All right, everyone, break's over, back to work. Your body literally has to remember how to start making its own hormones and running its own cycle all over again. Now here's the thing. For some people, that reboot is super fast, no big deal. But for others, it can take a while. And that transition can be a bit slower if there were things going on before you even started the pill, like if you already had irregular cycles, or an underlying condition like PCOS, or even if your body was just low on some key nutrients it needs to do its job. But here's the really good news, the best part, actually. This isn't something you just have to sit back and wait for. Nope. You can be an active player in helping your body through this reboot. And honestly, one of the most powerful ways to do that is with your nutritional toolkit. Okay. First things first, you can't build a house without bricks and wood, right? It's the exact same idea with your hormones. To actually create hormones like estrogen and progesterone, your body needs specific raw materials, these building blocks. And guess where it gets them? Directly from the food you eat. And this chart lays it out so clearly. So what are we talking about? Well, healthy fats are a huge one, especially those omega-3s. That's your salmon, your walnuts, your flax seeds. Then you've got these major players like B vitamins, zinc, and magnesium. They're all crucial. So loading up on things like leafy greens, seeds, and legumes is just a fantastic game plan. Okay, so we've got the building blocks. Great. But you also need a solid crew to manage the whole construction site. And in your body, that essential support crew is your liver, your gut, and your blood sugar regulation system. First up, your liver. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. It's the main processing plant that deals with hormones after they've done their job. And you can give it a little boost by eating lots of cruciferous veggies. We're talking broccoli, cauliflower, that kind of stuff. They help it process estrogen really well. And, of course, drink water. It helps flush all the byproducts out. All right, next on the support crew list, your gut. A lot of people don't realize that your gut health and your hormone health are totally connected. A healthy gut is what helps your body get rid of excess estrogen. Basically, if things get backed up in there, those old hormones can sneak back into your system, and that can make everything from mood swings to breakouts even worse. So think fiber and probiotics. And we can get even more specific, which is awesome. Keeping your blood sugar stable is a game changer for keeping your hormones stable. So try to get some protein, fat, and complex carbs in every meal.
If your periods come back and they're pretty heavy, you'll want to focus on iron-rich foods. And for that frustrating skin stuff, zinc and those anti-inflammatory omega-3s are going to be your best friends.
Okay, we need to talk about something. A huge myth that you have probably seen all over your social media feeds. And I'm talking about the whole idea of a pill detox.
Listen, the key takeaway here is this. Your body doesn't need a detox. It's not about flushing anything out with weird teas or restrictive cleanses. Your body is way too smart for that. The reality, the goal, is to rebuild and to nourish. It's a gentle, long-term approach with real food, not some quick fix with zero science behind it.
And just to be super clear on the science here, your body is incredibly efficient. It does not store synthetic hormones. Once you stop taking the pill, they're out of your system pretty quickly, all on their own. So what you're feeling, that's not old hormones hanging around. That's the sound of your own body warming up the engines again.
Okay, so after all of that, what's the big takeaway? What's the game plan moving forward? It really boils down to two really important words: patience and reconnection.
Number one, and this is maybe the most important part, you have to be patient with your body. Like our source material says, this isn't an overnight thing. It can often take a few months for your cycle to really find its groove again. It's a gradual rebalancing, not an instant switch. And really, you can look at this as a cool opportunity. It's not a problem you have to solve. It's a chance to really tune in and reconnect with your body's natural rhythm. By focusing on these core things, good food, healthy fats, sleep, and managing your stress, you're giving your body the exact support it's asking for. So we'll end with this thought. This whole transition is really a conversation. You know, for a while, the pill was doing all the talking. Your body's natural voice was kind of on mute. Well, now, it's turning the volume back up. It's starting to talk to you again. The real question is, are you ready to listen?